If we let negative 2, 7 lie on the terminal side of the angle, we can first graph it by plotting the point negative 2 and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's our point, which will give us a point that's on the terminal side. So it's going to have a ray that starts at the origin and goes through that point. That's the terminal side. The initial side will be the positive x-axis. And there's our angle. To find r, what we do is imagine this little triangle right here, and where the base of the triangle is negative 2 and the height is 7. R is the length of the hypotenuse. In this case, it's the square root of 7 squared plus 2 squared. So r is going to equal the square root of 52. 52 is 4 times 13, so that would be 2 square root of 13. Now that we have that, we've got everything that we need to find all of our trig values. Alpha is going to be the central angle. Technically, alpha is this angle. But as far as the triangle goes, it's all about being in the central angle, making 7 the opposite side, and square root of 52, or that 2 square root of 3, as our hypotenuse. So the sine is going to be 7 over 2 root 13, which simplifies into 7 root 13 over 2 times 13, which is 26. Cosine will be the adjacent over the hypotenuse, the negative 2 over 2 root 13. 2's will cancel, and we'll have negative square root of 13 over 13. And then finally, tangent will be 7 opposite over adjacent, negative 2. Last thing is to find all of the reciprocal functions. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So I'm going to go back to this first fraction, the one that wasn't simplified, and take the reciprocal of that. And we'll have 2 square root of 13 over 7. Now I already have the radical in the numerator, so that one is simplified. For cosine, I'll take a look at that first fraction, negative 2 over 2 square root of 13. And I'll let the 2's cancel, and this thing will simplify when we take the reciprocal into just negative square root of 13. And the reciprocal of tangent is going to be the reciprocal of 7 over negative 2, or negative 2 sevenths. Let's do it again in problem 7 and let 3, negative 4 lie on the terminal side of beta. So we just plot 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the terminal side. So our initial side will always be the positive x-axis. There we go. And it doesn't really say that beta is a positive angle or a negative angle, so we can think of it as either. And I'm going to think of beta as being right there. To find r, we imagine the triangle, whose base is 3 and the height is negative 4. Then the radius is going to be the hypotenuse of that triangle, which will be square root of 3 squared plus negative 4 squared. That's 25, so that radius is going to be 5. Now we can go through and quickly find sine, cosine, and tangent using SOHCAHTOA. Remember that the angle we're talking about, beta, is going to be that central angle. So the opposite side is negative 4, and the hypotenuse is 5. For cosine, the adjacent side is 3, and the hypotenuse is 5. And tangent, the opposite side is negative 4, and the adjacent side is 3. And last thing, clean it up by finding all of the reciprocals. So one at a time, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so negative 5/4. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so that would make positive 5/3. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so negative 3/4.